Hello and welcome to Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures on what is a magnificent day here. In fact, we've had a few magnificent days this past week. The sun's high in the sky. It's really red hot, which is lovely, and really encouraging things to grow, including nettles and dandelions. So what have these two got in common on today's show? Well, sit back, relax, put your feet up, have a cuppa, or in this weather, something a little stronger maybe. I hope you're well. And well, I hope you're not feeling too dizzy, because I've just noticed my camera's on the tilt. So it may be like this at the moment. We'll get that sorted for the next few shots. It's good to have you on board. And welcome once again to Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. I needed these because I've been picking nettles. I've got a corner. In fact, let's play the little video while I'm talking. And as I go past, of course, the nettles always grow from the bottom. They're underneath my raspberries and my roses. And they're growing underneath there with, of course, the bluebells and where the daffodils were. And because I can't get to that ground, it's often where the weeds come up. And so I've got dandelions and I've got nettles in that area. So this is the time of year, obviously, where we're going to start putting things out into the allotment and into wherever you're growing your growing beds or your raised beds or just your open ground buckets, whatever you're growing in. And you'll need to buy fertilizers at some point. Oops, hello. I could be on the floor in a moment. So oh yes, we need fertilizers. Homemade, fantastic fertilizers. Adding nutrients, nitrogens, phosphate, all sorts of lovely, beautiful, nutritious, beneficial feed for your son to go out. Cucumbers, tomatoes, in fact, lots of different vegetables. You can add both of these too, because I'm making a fertilizer mix out of produce on the allotment, free. Now, these, of course, are, let me find one because it's summer's in water. I've got my dandelion here. Now, obviously, if you're picking these off someone else's land, you need to get permission. But if it's your own land, I've got loads here on the allotment. And it's really important not to pick all of them, because this is so nutritious to the bees, attracting the pollinators in here. And actually, when the nettles are doing the same, when they're flowering, butterflies, all the lovely creatures we need in here to get rid of the other stuff we don't want. These really do attract the pollinators. So I'm wary of that. So I'm not taking lots of these, but even around the allotments here on the paths in, there's loads of them. So I'm not taking this away from the wildlife that needs it on my allotment. Dig it up. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be used on the allotment. This here is the roots. Now, if you're a coffee drinker, and I'm not, you can take the roots, give them a good clean, and chop them up, leave them to dry, so dehydrate them if you've got a dehydration unit, or you can pop them in the oven, chop them up finely, pop them in the oven, 200 degrees-ish, I think, for 30 minutes or so while it's drying out. Once they're drying out, grind it down, porcelain metal, the one that you grind it on, pestle and mortar, there you go. And you grind that down and you soak it in hot water. Not instant, by the way, it takes a bit of time, I think about half an hour, so it could have gone cold by the time. Strain this off and then reheat, and you get a nice coffee. I don't do coffee, so I won't be doing that. You can eat it, but it's not like a parsnip or a carrot where you can, because it takes ages apparently, so probably not. But everything you could have. The smaller leaves, the younger the leaves, the better if you're having things like salads. And you can just pop that off and eat it. I shan't do it today because I need that for what I'm going to make. So get yourself a bucket or a tub or anything you want. I've got a bucket because I've got quite a lot to go in. Now, rainwater is the best to use. Don't use tap water. because obviously it's got all the chlorines and things, and you don't want that in your feed. You want natural rainwater. Luckily, I've got quite a few tubs and rainwater butts here. So I've got plenty of excess rainwater, which is fantastic. This one, you need to push it down. Now let me get my gloves. So get it right into the water. And once it's in the water, make sure it's fully covered up. So you put lots more water in. Here we go. And make sure that it's really, really full. So it's all inside the water. I'll keep doing that. I'll add more because it needs quite a bit actually, that one. Get it all in the water. You don't necessarily, with this one, need to cover it up. You can if you've got a bit of loose netting so that you can't get insects in there. So pop it over. And you can leave that for between 12 and 24 hours. It doesn't really need much more than that. Because what you don't want this one to do, the dandelion one, you don't want it to start fermenting. Because otherwise, no, it's no good. In there, 24 hours maximum. Keep an eye on it. If it starts bubbling and fermenting, get the stuff out, strain the rest of it. When you start using it, so when you start putting it into your watering cans, it's a 1 part dandelion to 9 parts water. Remember, the water still needs to come out of your water butts or wherever you're saving the rainwater from. So 1 part 9, and that will dilute it enough to put on your new seedlings and your plants that are going out into the garden. And it will give them lots of nutrients in the soil to help the new seedlings develop. Isn't it amazing? And that, of course, is all for free. So if we're a bit short of cash, like some of us are at the moment, I know we are, because it's well, we won't go into that, but a lot of people are. You don't need to go out and buy really expensive fertilizers. You can make your own. So I'm just going to swap this over. Hopefully you'll be able to see that. I've not even checked the camera. I'm sure you can. Oh, I don't know whether you can. Well, we'll have a look and I'll check it. Here we go. Oh, let's do this one. Get a bit closer. Now, I've got to put my gloves back on, or at least one glove. Because as we know here, we have stinging nettles, or nettles, well, you know, this. I mean, in the past, I have made wine out of this stuff, you know, but I'm not going to do that today. Yeah, you just do the same principle, really. But I think the wine, I'm sure I used to boil it up in a pan so that it really gets going. Now, this one, again, lots and lots of nettles into this bucket. But what you don't want to do this time is overfill it. It needs some air on top, because this one you're going to leave for up to 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe up to a month. Let it ferment, let it bubble away, let it get lovely foam on top. And when that foam stops, and it goes settles, and it's no longer bubbling away, the fermentation has stopped. So that means then, of course, get the nettles out. They can go on your compost heap, of course. It will absolutely stink. I promise you that. There'll be a really bad odour, because of course it's rotting down as well as making beautiful fertiliser. Again, for the young plants that are coming onto your allotment or in your buckets or your tubs, you've got your fertiliser. This one though will need 1 to 10. So 1 part this water to 10 parts normal water, and that'll be enough. It won't kill the plants off. That'll be really, really brilliant. But yes, so that is my bucket. I'm going to get some more because there's not quite a lot in there. So we'll get some in there now, and that will really, really help. So free fertilisers, that's 2. There's borage as well. We'll have a look at that another week. That's the same sort of thing as the nettles, actually. Lots of that into a bucket. Allow it to ferment. Now, obviously, you must cover this with some sort of hessian cloth so that, again, we can't get any insects in that. And that, same with, I mean, if you've got a lid, that's fantastic. Stick something over the top of it. Absolutely brilliant. Leave it somewhere, not necessarily in full sun, but partial shade. Love it. 2 or 3 weeks. Got a beautiful new fertiliser. Oh, it's lovely being out on the allotment. It's great to hear from your viewers, and I've heard from Darren in Wakefield. And while I'm talking, we'll do a few photographs over the top. Darren has decided to take on another allotment. That means he's got a heck of a lot of hard work to do over the next few weeks. He's got a rumbling down, tumbling old shed that might be able to be saved apparently, but he's not quite sure till he gets a bit closer to that. But he's having to relay paths, he's having to put new raised beds in, and really the hard work. But he absolutely loves it, which means obviously he's about to double, quadruple whatever he gets out of the soil this year. So well done to Darren for taking on more back-breaking work, and in this heat it won't be an easy task. So Darren, keep drinking the water and you'll be fine, I'm sure. You know what you're doing now because you've had your allotment now for a few years, and you really do produce some amazing produce. So keep at it, and well done you. I don't think I could take on another allotment now. It's hard enough as it is to get down to do this one at the moment. Yes, but as I say, you don't need an allotment. You can have a bucket like this. I've got my potatoes ready to go out. Some will be going in here, and in fact I might do that today, get them in there. The only problem with having this sort of thing is in hot weather they do dry out really quickly, so you've got to keep an eye on your potatoes. What I am going to do as well is I'm going to try the no dig gardening method with my potatoes. So I've got some cardboard, I've got a raised bed, so in that raised bed I'm going to put my potatoes, but I'm not digging. Just going to clear the weeds out that are underneath already, make sure there's nothing that's going to come through, and then we'll stick the cardboard underneath that. Got lots of spare soil knocking about, we'll get some of that on there, get the potatoes in that, and obviously when they grow, the shoots will go. You have to wet the cardboard, so keep that moist in order that the roots can penetrate through and really absorb all the lovely nutrients that's in the soil already. Because the idea of the no dig, and I've never done it before, because I was brought up digging, you did turn it over, but apparently they're saying that if you do that, all the lovely hard work the worms have done and all the digging it all up, putting the lovely tracks in for all the soil, the rainwater to disappear, all the nutrients, you'll just destroy all of that hard work. So I'm going to try and see what happens. Obviously, if you've got raised beds, you're putting more new soil in nearly every season, topping it up anyway. So you're sort of doing a no-dig system. But when you've got bare earth and you're digging down, then apparently that really do destroy the complexness of your soils. Well, once again, thank you very much. I hope you enjoy making your fertilizers. Really simple. Rainwater and whatever you're going to put in it. So dandelions, I've got nettles. I'm going to go off and get some more. We'll see what happens in there. Well, hopefully by the time I come back for the next video, we'll have the dandelion one made already and we can use it and see what colour it looks like. Although it is rainwater, so already it's a browny colour anyway. And in this one, this is already sort of a very light green colour. So it's a shame it's not wine, but well, there you go. There's plenty of nettles left on this allotment, you never know. Well, it's been great having you on. It's great to see you all. Thanks for all your comments, and I'll see you next time here. Hopefully, a nice sunny day as well on Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. Ta-ra for now.